Yo, what's going on, guys? So today we are going to be talking about the Joe Budden podcast again. I know we haven't been making a ton of videos on the podcast lately. I've been making videos on a couple other things, and I've been doing a lot of stuff, figuring out a lot of things. I had to pay over $2,000 for my car. So let's just leave it there. I'll explain more in the future, maybe. So today, what are we going to be talking about? We are going to be talking about helping your kids guide themselves to their passions. So I think oftentimes, even in this, just letting you guys know, Ish does say, oftentimes minority families, they push you away from doing things that you may want to do because they're used to doing things in a consistent way. They're like, it's not really possible to do these cool things or these things that you may want to try. But it's a lot more practical to get an education, to go to work, to do this 9 to 5, because that's also what they're used to for their entire lives. They were never given the same opportunities that we are now given as 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds even. So they're not trying to necessarily hurt us, but I do think the rhetoric that they can give us at times, I think it could be harmful to us. And I'll explain that here a little bit. Also, the guys will talk about it, so let's get into that here shortly. If you guys like content like this, please like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to 500 so we can do that giveaway, guys. 500 subscribers and we do a giveaway. So if you guys want to be involved in that, you guys have to comment on videos and you have to be subscribed. So let's get right into the video.
As a parent, you kind of got to guide your kids. You got to let them do what they're passionate about. So if my daughter wanted to be a social worker, they don't make no money.
Social workers don't make anything. So usually if you see somebody going for just a psychology degree and only a psychology degree, they usually don't have much money in terms of that career. Usually if you have a psychology degree, you're thinking about getting a master's degree or a doctorate. When I got my psychology degree, I took the MCAT because I was thinking about doing medicine to become a psychiatrist, but I decided against that. I'll talk about that later. If you guys are interested in that, comment below.
Her passion is in helping people. You gotta let that rock. But now it's my job as a parent to recognize her passion and to give her other shit to supplement her income so she can live a quality life.
So when he's talking about giving her other things to supplement her income, he doesn't mean just with her passion that might not make her money, but he means maybe let me teach you how to invest in stocks or how to invest in real estate or something along those lines. He's really like, let me set up other avenues for you and teach you how to set up other avenues so whatever you want to do, you can pursue happily. And honestly, this is a fresh take because I usually don't hear this coming from people in his generation and beyond especially. So to hear him say this to me is extremely refreshing.
Do what you love. But you gotta have some rental somewhere subsidizing because I don't want, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I think as a parent, you kind of gotta guide them, but you gotta let them feel their way through it.
Shit, even with music for me, like I was self-taught for years, and then eventually I wanted Fender Stratocaster guitar.
It's funny because I'm actually a self-taught guitarist too. I started playing right before 9th grade is when I started playing. I loved it. I learned how to play a lot of stuff. My first guitar was a shitty first act because I knew nothing about them. But eventually I got an Ibanez and a couple other ones. So let me know if you guys are interested in that as well. I want to be able to share things in the future with you guys. I am self-taught with a couple of things. I have a keyboard actually that's next to me that I'm in the process of learning as well. So yeah, I definitely can vibe with this. And guys, I want to tell you, it's a great idea to do these things by yourself and to try to figure out how to do these things. We have all the resources we need in the world now online that you can access to learn these things.
I'm not gonna spend
I
all
already
this
knew how
money
to
on
play.
this guitar.
I could play Eric Clapton, fucking Beatles, whatever the fuck songs. I was 10 years old. And he's like, I can see that you could play, but if you want this thing, you got to get some type of.
How much did this cost back then?
It was a Squire, so it was not a very expensive, $200 guitar.
Yeah, the Squires aren't that bad, even still. See, $250. American Musical, great website to buy from. This isn't the same thing, but and they're priced differently because they're different models, obviously. But let's get right back.
I recognize my son's passion, and I also see he's good at it. Who the fuck am I not to?
I'm supposed to water that.
I'm supposed to water that.
Right.
Right.
100%.
Supposed to water that. Some parents are saying, no, that
Here's
shit
some
don't make no
formal
money.
shit.
Musicians don't make no money. I'm not buying you no fucking guitar, getting there and read them books.
Right.
And that is going to be the topic for the next episode. So we'll play a little bit more here. But no, that's literally the topic of the next episode, because families like that, especially families that didn't necessarily come from this nation, if they came from a different country, They're a lot more strict on you, like foreign parents.
Did you ever come have that talk with your mom? Like, yo, I want to be a contractor, and she was agreeable to it?
I was grown.
Right?
No, I was grown when I decided that. So, but what I did,
of course.
I grew up in a household with 2 contractors, right? My uncle's a contractor. So I knew a bunch of the shit already.
Right.
My mother wanted me to go
I'd never had that.
inbox route.
Education, blue collar,
This
white
is a
collar.
So, for example, like some people have families where their family members had trades. They did real estate. They did construction, like Ish's family. They learned how to mold or meld or whatever it is. Whatever they learned, welding is a big thing. Whatever they learned how to do. They learn how to do something, they learn how to do a trade, or their family has a business. And usually when they get exposed to other kind of businesses, it's from exposure due to somebody that they're related to, like doing whatever it is that they want to do. So for me personally, anytime I've tried to really pursue something I've wanted to do, I've never had like a role model that was in my life that did the same kind of things that I necessarily wanted to shoot for. This too, I don't have a big channel by any means. My channel is puny, but I appreciate every person that watches the videos, every person that subscribes, everyone that comments. I try to react to everything, and I really do appreciate all of it, because I can understand growth. I hear how long it takes for people to grow and to get to X amount of subscribers or whatever, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that kind of grind, because I want to build longevity with the things I want to do. I want to create multiple avenues for income, which I've started to do, but I want to continue to diversify that, and I want to continue to try to build upon that. I think oftentimes enough, people don't guide their kids through their passions. I don't think people take the proper steps to get to their passions either. So what that means is, to take the proper steps to get to where you need to be, you need to cover your necessities. So if you need a place to stay and you need food, you need to be able to cover rent, and you need to be able to cover place to live. If you cannot do that by any means, then those should be the #1 base priority. If you cannot get to that, I don't really know what to say. When you are guiding your kids to your passions, you have to show them first how to get the things that they absolutely need. Because if they don't have the things they need, but they have all these aspirations, they're never going to be able to get the aspirations. Because eventually time's going to come where they need to get whatever these certain things may be. So I feel like people need to be a little nicer to their kids' passions, especially now that we have so many more avenues to monetize different things. You can monetize just about anything if you're creative enough to go online and figure out a way to do it. You don't even necessarily need to go online, but the fact that we can go online and create these avenues for ourselves, it's a big deal. It's a big thing that we have that other people didn't. So we also should not be listening to people that have never had these things, people have never shot for these things, when they're telling us, oh, well, this is the only thing you could do. You have to go find this normal job. You have to go do this, do that. You don't necessarily have to at all. There's so many different ways you can make money now. Even non-conventional jobs you can technically do. So I think people need to open their minds up a little bit. Make sure you always have your basics. If you don't have your basics, I don't know what you're doing. If you do have your basics, then you should sit your ass down, get those covered, and then go after other things. But when people complain about like not having time, well, if you only do the things that you have to do every single day, and you don't create that time to do the additional stuff, or to learn additional skill, or to do whatever it is that you may want to aspire to do, your life is going to stay the same forever. Do you want to stay in the same kind of zone where you're never growing? Do you want to remain the same all the time? That idea to me is so unappealing. I don't want to remain on the same plane for the rest of my life. I want to continuously grow. It's important for me to continuously grow and to find as many ways I possibly can to do that. Especially having kids. Having kids makes me want to do so many more things with my life, and every day, if I'm not doing something, I'm thinking about what I can do, and it's a constant thing. Life doesn't stop, and I think the idea of retirement, think about people that retire and how much money they make after they retire. You hear some people trying to live off of $1,000, $1,200 a month. That's no way to live. So if you truly retire and you just work at a career job or whatever it may be and stop, and you don't get like a pretty large sum of money that's comparable to your checks, is that really worth living? Or do you want to try to find something you could do to either increase your wealth so much that there's no way you're not going to have any by the time you're done, as long as you don't splurge it all? Or have consistent income coming in regardless of your age because of whatever kind of business or empire you build. That's what everyone's trying to do. That's what Joe Budden is trying to do. When you watch his podcast and you listen to Joe and he's talking about corporations versus the small people, or what he used to talk about, he's talking about these kinds of things, then he could build this kind of generational wealth for his family. There's a reason why he doesn't talk about these things as much anymore. He is the corporation. So he understands you have to do certain things a certain kind of way. However, when you're watching Joe, he's a lot smarter than a lot of the people give him credit for. He wouldn't have this network, this podcast, and as many connections as he does without having some kind of head on him, even if he's done things in a dirty kind of way. So like, what you guys should be doing is you guys should be guiding your kids. Guide your kids to their passions. Try to monetize those passions for them. See if they can figure out a way to make money off of the things that they enjoy, because that's the ultimate way that they're going to be happy. Do you want your kid to be happy every single day, or do you want your kid to be upset, angry that they're going to this mundane, boring job, or this job that they hate every single day, day in and day out? Because me personally, I don't want to go somewhere I hate all the time. If I have to, I have to. That's one thing. But if there's any way that I can figure out a path not to do that, that's what I'm going for. So let me know what you guys think about this down below. This idea is honestly, it's important to me. And I know a lot of the people watching this probably did not have parents that guided them to their passion. Whatever it is, they probably told them, yeah, don't do this, it's stupid, you can't make money off this, this isn't a job, this isn't consistent, things like that. How many of you guys fought against it? How many of you guys are still dealing with that? How many of you guys are struggling with that today? So like, comment, subscribe. We're doing a giveaway at 500 subscribers. Please don't forget. And as always, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.